Help your child succeed at school. What parents need to know. Part 3. Teachers' Top 3 Tips. This is the third part of a 4-part series. Our goal is to help you help your child succeed at school. In Part 1, we talked about why family involvement is so important and gave you some ideas to try. In Part 2, we focused on reading with some fun family activities. And in Part 3, we will learn the teacher's top tips for learning success at school. These tips are from a national study of reading success for children in grades kindergarten through 3rd grade. A group of Minnesota teachers also agree that these 3 tips are the most important. First, talk often with your child to build listening and talking skills. Research tells us that for children to become readers, they should listen and talk a lot. By the time children are 1 year old, they already know a lot about spoken language, which is talking and listening. They recognize some speech sounds. They know which sounds make the words that are important to them. They begin to imitate those sounds. Children learn all of this by listening to family members talk, even baby talk, which exaggerates the sounds and rhythms of words, makes a contribution to children's ability to understand language. Children who don't hear a lot of talk and who are not encouraged to talk themselves often have problems learning to read later. Read to and with your child. Reading aloud to children has been called the single most important activity for building the knowledge required for success in reading. Reading aloud, with children participating actively, helps children learn new words, learn more about the world, learn about written language, and to see the connection between words that are spoken and words that are written. So when you read to and with your child, you want to make it fun and something that they get to do rather than something they have to do. You can talk about the words and ideas you read about. You want to encourage independent reading, so maybe they read a sentence and you read a sentence. Even when they struggle, you want to stay positive about what they're doing right, and you want to find ways to motivate them or to create an interest in the reading activity. You may want to use an activity such as this one from Pacer's reading activity cards with your child. Bedtime Bonus. Make an offer your child will not refuse. As bedtime approaches, say, I have a new book about dinosaurs, for instance. I'd really like to read it with you, but you'd have to stay up 15 minutes later. Would you like to go to bed or to read? Teachers have told us to aim for 20 minutes a day of reading time. And the 20 minutes doesn't need to be all at once. 10 minutes after school and 10 minutes before bedtime is manageable. Research has shown that the very best readers, those who scored better than 90% of their peers on reading tests, read for more than 20 minutes a day, which is about 1.8 million words a year. While those at the 50th percentile, or right in the middle, read only 4.6 minutes a day, which results in about 282,000 words a year. The poorest readers, those children reading below the 10th percentile, read less than 1 minute each day, or 8,000 words a year, and would require 1 year to read what the best readers read in 2 days. That's from Overcoming Dyslexia, a new and complete science-based program for reading problems at any level by Sally Shaywitz. So be a model. Let your child see you read. Talk about the stories you like and why you like them. Use your library. Check out summer reading clubs. Ask your child's teacher for book lists. Try to link books with summer activities. Pair books with movies. You can read the book and then pop some popcorn and watch the movie together. This activity may also help your child. TV reading time. If it's available, try turning closed captioning on when your child is watching a children's TV show. Try it with the sound on and off. Or check out a book from the library that's also a children's TV program, such as a book from the Arthur series. Read the book, and then watch the show together. When we think about reading books with children, we most often think of fiction, stories, plays, or poems based on the author's imagination. Research tells us that boys often show more interest in reading nonfiction. Nonfiction is writing that deals with facts or events rather than imaginative stories. Sports books or magazines, how-to books, science books, humor, and comics may provide boys with more motivation to read. When reading fictional stories, boys often prefer books with male characters they can relate to in their own lives with similar cultural backgrounds. Ask your child's librarian or your child's teacher for ideas about books to read. Reading aloud is important in developing fluency, which is that smooth and automatic reading that helps the child comprehend or understand what they read. Depending on your child's skills, you may want to take turns reading either sentences in a picture book or paragraphs or pages in a chapter book. Reading aloud together will give you a natural opportunity to see how your child's doing. Many parents report they have limited time to read with their child, especially if there are several children in the family. You can ask your child to read aloud to siblings or to grandparents or even to the family dog. Think ahead about how you can make reading a part of your child's summer. Summer reading can make a major difference in your child's overall progress. Research shows that children who don't read at all during the summer, and that's usually those reluctant or struggling readers, can actually lose up to 3 months of reading progress. And reading as little as 6 books over the summer will help young children maintain their reading level, which will help them get off to a good start when school begins in the fall. Perhaps you are an adult who faces some challenges to reading yourself. English may not be your first language, or you may have a learning disability that makes reading difficult. There are still ways for you to help your child improve their skills. Here are some ideas. Choose picture books and invent a story. There are even wordless books that are meant to have stories verbally told as you view the pictures together. Ask your child to tell you about each picture in a picture book. You could check out a book that comes with a recorded version. Then you can join your child in following along in the book while listening to the story on tape. Encourage your child to move his or her finger along the words on the page from left to right if they are beginning readers. If English is your second language and your child is bilingual, educators encourage you to also read books with your child in your native language. As Dr. Seuss once said, "You're never too old, too wacky or wild to pick up a book and read to a child." You have completed watching part 3 of the series on helping your child succeed at school. We hope you will watch all 4 parts of this series. Part 4 will help you know if your child is learning and making the progress he or she needs to make at school. We'll also give you tips on how to help your child succeed if he or she has a learning difficulty or a disability and doesn't learn in the same way as other children. For more information or help in finding the resources referred to in this presentation, you can contact us at Pacer Center, 952-838-9000 or 1-800-537-2237, or find us on the web.